If you're trying to work with the Gradebook in Brightspace and find it a little bit confusing or disorganized, stick around. I'm going to give you some tips to straighten things out. Now in this tutorial, I want to walk you through just some of the basics of the Gradebook in Brightspace. The first time I went in, I found it to be a little bit confusing. I'd actually imported a course from Blackboard into Brightspace, and in Blackboard things were set up exactly the way I wanted them to be. The assignments were weighted exactly how I wanted. Everything was organized in the order, but when I imported the course into Brightspace, things needed to be adjusted quite a bit. Matter of fact, when I got into the Gradebook, I found it to be actually completely confusing with things grouped in a really bizarre way. But when I played with it after a few minutes of trial and error, I was able to figure out how to edit the thing, and it's actually pretty simple. So let's take a look at Brightspace and let's go into the Gradebook, and I'll walk you through some of the things that you can do. Now, if you're looking at the screen here, you see the basic course shell. At the top in the nav bar, you'll see, of course, course home, content, and the third one in, that's the grades. This is where we're going to go. Now, as I go into grades, you're going to see basically the layout of the Gradebook, where you would go to enter grades. You see that tab over here on the left-hand side highlighted, and you've got all the different assignments along the bottom. If I scrolled along, you could see all the way through the different assignments that are actually built into the course. Now, it's a little bit confusing looking at this for the first time. It's not really that bad once you start and walk through where things are located. For instance, I've got a final calculated grade in my first column here after the student's name. I've got the next category. At the top you'll see the category. Right here I see assignments, and under assignments I've got various assignments that are under that category. So the category is going to be above, the different things in that category are going to follow below that, and then below that in the bottom in the pink highlighted area you're going to see the different assignments, the current grade the student has. Of course, nobody's done anything in this course. It's just a test shell, so there's a 0 in the first column. The number of total points possible, and basically the weight or the percentage of the grade that's been earned so far. I believe that's what that shows me. Now, it's not set up the way that I would like this to be. Matter of fact, if you go in the notes section right here, it tells you some of the things that you want to look for. For instance, the final calculated grade sums to 4.17% and not to 100%. So if you're doing your course based on weight, that's definitely going to need to be changed. And I tend to weight my different assignments, so I'm going to go with kind of the percentage weight idea as I set this up. Under assignments, it sums to 900%, not to 100%. So all the assignments that I have in the assignments tab, that's definitely off. Same thing with surveys and whatnot. So these are all warning notes that are going to be things that I want to pay attention for when I go in to manage this section. So I'm going to come up now to the second tab, Manage Grades. I'm going to go in there, and this is where I'll be able to modify things and set them up pretty much the way that I want. Now, like I said, I'm not going to be able to do everything here, but I'm just going to show you a few of the things and how easy it can be to do this. First of all, this first assignment, I've got that hidden. I'm going to actually want to keep that hidden for my purposes, but if I wanted to make that visible, very simply, I can do that by going in here and hitting this Make Visible to Users. And that little I now goes away. So students will be able to see that assignment. But like I said, for now, I'm just going to keep that one hidden. So I'm going to go back down and say hide from users if I don't want them to see that. I'm going to have the I with the cross through it, so I know that that is going to be an invisible assignment that only I will be able to see. Now, what you have in this area are the different categories, and then under the category, the different assignments that are associated with that category. So I've got a category that says assignment right here, and then I've got all these skill practice assignments right below that. This last one here is not actually a skill practice assignment. It's classified as an assignment, but I want this to be a standalone assignment. I want to have this set up in a way where it's its own individual thing, maybe not even associated with any category whatsoever, and then I'll weight it the way that I would like. So let's just take this signature assignment for the course, click on Edit, and here's what I want to do. I want to keep the name the same. I'm going to go down to the category section, and I'm actually going to check the None box. Okay, so I'm going to actually not associate this with a category, which is going to take it out of the category that it was in. The points the same. I don't want it to be 100% of the course grade score. Let's say this assignment is maybe worth 5%. So I'm going to enter a 5 there. And then I'm just going to go ahead to the bottom, hit save and close. Come back over to this area, and if I scroll all the way down, I'm going to find that assignment at the bottom, Essay, Identifying Assessing Assumptions, 5% of the grade, and it is set up on its own. Now, let's say I want that to be the first assignment students see, or a first thing that you're going to see in the gradebook. I'll come up here to More Actions, and at any time I can reorder the way they appear on the screen. I'm just going to do that really quickly to show you how this is done. Go to Reorder. I'm going to go down to that assignment. Actually, let's do a couple things. The weighted total, let's make that the first thing we see is the weighted total for the thing. And then that assignment right here, Essay Identifying Assessing Assumptions, let's make that the second thing that's going to show up. And I'll save that. Okay, now on my Manage Grades page, I have the weighted total at the top. Identifying and Assessing Assumptions, a signature assignment right there. And then let's go back down and let's play with this assignments area. All right, so I've got the category of assignments that is set up right now to be a total weight for the course of 0.01%, which is definitely not very much of a grade. And then within that area, you'll notice the skill practices, those are worth 100% of that category. And since I have, looks like 8 different skill practices assigned to it, that would make 800% of this category based on the skill practice. It's a little bit confusing mathematically, so I definitely want to adjust some things right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and change the weighting of the assignment area. So I'm going to go back to assignment, hit the arrow, hit the edit button, and now, keeping everything the same, I just want to change the weight. Let's say that the assignments for this course are going to be worth, let's just say 35% of the overall grade, and very easily I want to go down to the distribution. And I want to distribute the weights evenly across all items, let's say. Click on that button. I'm going to go down, save and close. And now when I go back over to assignments, okay, I've got this making up 35% of the grade. And within the different assignments, notice they're all weighted the same. It's 12.5% per assignment. Okay, so within the category of assignments, each assignment makes up 12.5% of that assignment portion of the grade. And of course, the weighted total, those assignments altogether constitute 35%. That's how you'll understand that. I don't usually pay attention to the points. If you work on points, you're probably going to want to set things up a little bit differently. But of course, points are shown as well. Now, let's just go down and notice that there are some other things in here that I'm not using. Let's say the blog, the discussions, the journal, self, and peer. Those are all set up currently at 0.01%, but I don't have anything in those categories, and I'm not going to be using those categories. So let's actually do what's called a bulk edit. I'm going to take those 4 things, come up to this little tab up here that says bulk edit, and I'm going to change them all right now. I'm actually going to weight them all at 0 because I'm not using them. And then I'm going to go ahead and save that. So when I scroll back down, they're not going to factor in. As a matter of fact, I'm probably not even going to want them visible. So I'm going to go ahead and hide each of these from the user. Now, of course, you got to do this one at a time, which is fine. It just takes a little bit longer. But as I walk through, those are going to be removed from visibility. And at the end, I can reorder things. Oops, I didn't want to edit that. Let's just cancel that. Go back down. All I wanted to do, I believe, was hide that. Okay. Now, as I reorganize things later, I'll be able to change things around some more. So let's edit one more thing. Let's actually edit a couple more things. Under here, I've got survey. I've got all these attendance assignments and quizzes set up in this category. I don't want those to be part of a survey tab. So let's just change how they're all classified. First of all, this one that says start here EVA. This is an enrollment verification assignment. I actually am going to just have that separated out, and I'm not going to associate that with a category. So let's just get rid of that, save it, close it, remove it from the category. Now let's go over to the survey, and this time I'm going to bulk edit all of the assignments that are in this category because I want to assign them to a different category. They're attendance quizzes. So why don't we go ahead and assign them under bulk edit to a new category. So here I could change the weight, I could change the points, I could change the grade scheme, but I'm going to go to the last column which says category, and instead of survey, let's just make these all attendance. Okay, right here. So I'm going to go down one by one, click them all, and make them part of the attendance. Okay, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and save it, head back out to the Manage Grades area, and let's take a look at the attendance area. So this is right down here. Let's just bring this up a little bit later. I'll do that. I'll reorganize them later. But right now, let's adjust this because attendance is only worth 0.1% of the grade. So we can go in and edit that, and I can make this whatever I want it to be. Let's just say that those are worth 10% of my grade. I'm going to distribute it evenly among all of those little quizzes. Save and close. Now that is set up and ready to go. Now, right now I've got the final calculated grade, 64% of the grade is accounted for, not 100%. So there's still some things that need to be done. As a matter of fact, there are the survey area right here is still at 0.01%. I can go ahead and edit that and make that again 0 since I have nothing in the category. Save that and close it. I'll go down to the test area. I'm going to leave this the same. I've got several quizzes. I could rename them, put a quiz category in there and assign them to the quiz category, but right now, just to speed things up, I'm going to keep them under test, but I'm going to edit the test category so that this is worth, let's just say 35% of the grade. Save that, close it, and I actually wanted to do one other thing. Let me go back in there, edit it one more time, assign it to be 35% of the grade, and I'm going to distribute the weight evenly across all the items, all the quizzes in there. Then I'm going to save it and close it. And now I'm getting close. And I've got 99% of my grade is now accounted for. There's some things that could be changed around, but that's pretty much how you do it. You walk through, you set things up the way you want. When you're done, if you want to adjust and reorder things the way you like at the end, it's very easy to do. Right now, like I said, I've got the weighted total up front. Maybe I want to have my EVA assignment right at the top. Let's make that actually second, right after the weighted average. Then I've got that assignment number 3. The assignment section is number 5. Let's say I want the tests to be number 6. And then the attendance material number 7. It'll move everything with it. This is the order that they're going to appear within the category. Let's just stop right there. And when we go back in, it's set up in the order that I want it to appear. And the things that I'm not using are going to be pushed down to the bottom. And anything that I don't want to show, just go ahead and hide it from users. And it's ready to go. Now, if I go back to enter grades, it's going to be set up, exactly in that order. And that's essentially everything there is to working with the gradebook. So that's pretty much all there is to it. The gradebook is actually really, really user-friendly. I think one of the greatest features of Brightspace is actually how they set up the gradebook functionality, where you can create your own categories. You could set things up all pretty easily from one main screen. It doesn't take a lot of clicking over here and over there. Very easy to navigate. Now, if you think that this video was useful, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything new. And again, thanks for watching.